What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Charlo Boxing TV. Send us a subscribe, send us a like. Love to hear from you as well if you have any comments on any of the videos or anything you'd like to talk about. Doing a preview on some fights tomorrow night of interest to me in the US. The first one is the DAZN Matchrooms card in Rhode Island in the US. It's a night of the middleweights really, for different reasons. They have the WBO title on the line, middleweight title on the line tomorrow night between Demetrius Andrade and Sulecki, a Polish fighter, good solid fighter too. It's a fairly even fight. Of course, the WBO belt is the only one that Canelo doesn't have, and we'll talk a bit about that later on. Although arguably there is one more belt now in the arena. But Demetrius Andrade, obviously undefeated fighter, standout fighter. He's 7th in the world. He's 31 years of age. He's 27 wins, 17 knockouts, no losses, no draws. Sulecki, he has 28 wins, 11 knockouts. Only one loss, and that was to Daniel Jacobs. So he is a good, solid fighter. Nobody really. They both fought solid fighters on the card, but no standout names really that the masses would know. Maybe in the UK, people know that Andrade fought Brian Rose. He was also looking for a fight with Billy Joe Saunders back when there was a sample negative test by Billy Joe Saunders. Who has since gone up and won a WBO belt in the super middleweight division. So that fight never happened. That would have been the standout fight for Andrade, but it didn't happen. No fault of his own. So yeah, a decent fight. Both guys, as I said, Andrade 7th and Sulecki is 10th in the world. I go by Boxrec because it's kind of independent, so that's why I like it. Sulecki is 30. They're both 6 foot 1 inch. In the US, I'm not sure what that is, so we'll just stick with that. See, that's a million centimeters or something in the US. But yeah, no, 6 foot 1 inch, so they're about even. Now, the key element here might be the reach. Andrade has a long reach of 73 inches, 73 and a half to be precise. Sulecki only has 68 inches, so that's a definite advantage for Andrade if he decides to use it. They both have decent enough knockout ratios, nothing mind blowing, but not like very, very decent knockout ratio. So what way the fight will go, I think it is probably going to go Andrade's way. I think it would be a bit of a shock if Andrade lost. Definitely an upset, but wouldn't necessarily be blown away if Sulecki wins. He's fought a lot in Poland up till about 5 years ago, I think. Then he started to go abroad, the US and other places to fight. But so that's a decent fight. I have that one, Andrade winning on points, unanimous decision on points. Then another fight there, chief support really. Yafai, he is the WBA super flyweight champion. This is his 5th defense, 25 wins, 15 by knockout, no defeats, no draws. He's against Norberto Jimenez from Dominican Republic. He has a record of 29 wins, 10 knockouts. 8 losses, 4 by knockout and 4 draws. So not a great record. Yafai is 7th in the world. This one, the only time Jimenez has fought outside of the Dominican Republic is when he challenged for the WBA title a long time ago in Japan against a Japanese fighter, and he lost that one on split decision. Japan is, and no disrespect to Japan, but it can have dubious decisions sometimes. So he split decision. Maybe he won that. I don't know. So I didn't see the fight, obviously, but yeah. So that's the only thing that's tweaking my interest a little bit about Jimenez. I still think Yafai is gonna win it. And I just have a feeling neither of them have massive knockout ratios, but they both again have decent knockout ratios. I think somebody's gonna. I think, if I was gonna bet, I'm not a betting man. I don't know why. I just have it in my head that this is gonna be a knockout upset, Jimenez. But we'll see. I'll be interested to watch that one. It's just that one result. Otherwise, I give it to Yafai every day of the week. But we'll see what happens there. Another thing about Jimenez, he hasn't fought in a year, so he's been a long time out. I don't know why. I just get a feeling there's an upset on the cards, but we'll see what happens there. Hopefully not for Yafai. I like him, and he's a solid boxer. Then another supporting fight on that card is Joseph Parker against Alex Leapai. Parker, what can you say? He's former champion. He fought a lot of who's who, really. He's fought Dillian Whyte, he's fought Anthony Joshua, he's fought Ruiz Jr. That was, again, questionable whether or not he won that one. I don't know. It was close anyway. He fought Hughie Fury, Dimitrenko. Maybe not a lot of people know him, but he's a decent fighter. And Carlos Takam, who obviously is kind of seen as a bit of a gatekeeper now to the top level. So he's lost twice to Dillian Whyte and Joshua. So that's going to be against Alex Leapai, who has a record of 32 wins and 26 by knockout, 7 losses, 3 by knockout, 4 draws. Parker is 10th in the world, 27 years of age. Leapai is 39, 57 in the world. He has definitely his outstanding fight. Beat Kevin Johnson a long time ago. Dennis Boystoff, maybe people don't know him, and unfortunately he is no longer boxing. I might do a video on him sometime soon. Had a bit of a sad outcome, but he was fighting. Boystoff was supposed to be, next on Klitschko when Klitschko was the, a unified champion. He was supposed to be next on Klitschko's list. He just had come through Leapai, and fortunately for Leapai, he beat Boystoff, and that catapulted him into a fight with Klitschko. He lost that. He fought Malik Scott. He lost that. Manuel Carr, he also lost that. That's 3 of his 7 defeats. But obviously it changed his life. Probably made him a lot of money as well in those fights. Became a name. He is still a name, but at 39, 57 in the world, he's never, other than Boystoff, which you could say, and Kevin Johnson, you could say was a standout performance. Other than that, he never really lived up. He was always just a name. So Parker all day long in that one. I would say in 6 by knockout. That's my prediction. Then in Texas in the US, and possibly the biggest fight of the weekend isn't against fighters. It's against DAZN and PBC boxing, which is Al Haymon. So it's again, we'll come back to that, and we'll talk about the next fight, which is the PBC fight between Jermal Charlo and Brandon Adams. Charlo 28 wins, 21 by knockout, no defeats, no draws. Brandon again solid fighter, 21 wins, 13 by knockout, 2 losses, 1 of those came by knockout, no draws. So this is also for the WBC full title, although Canelo is now the franchise WBC, so not really on paper it is the title, but not really, if you ask me. Until you beat the man, you're not the man. But yeah, Charlo has a lot of good names on his record. Highland, who people might remember, really put a final nail in the coffin of Matthew Macklin's career. Austin Trout, he was former super welterweight IBF champion. This is second defense of what is now the full WBC middleweight title again. I don't really see it as that. He's fourth in the Boxrec rankings. So Brandon Adams, on the other hand, 14th, 29 as well. Charlo is also 29, I believe. Just checking my records here. Don't know. So we're gonna 29. We're gonna go with 29. Reach again, possibly gonna come into this. Adams is not really fought anyone of note other than Willie Monroe, and he lost to him by unanimous decision. Also lost to John Thompson. Hello, Mr. Thompson. And not from The Simpsons. And that ended by knockout. So, only other name on his record is Shane Mosley, but unfortunately it's Shane Mosley Jr., not Senior. So make of that what you will. Again, Mosley Jr., not a bad fighter, but not top class world level. So yeah, Adams slightly less of a punch than Charlo, so I'm gonna go with Charlo knocking Adams out in 10 for that one. Deontay Wilder's brother's on that as well, but again he's lost 1 out of his 5 fights and drawn 1, so he's only won 3, 2 of them, so he's not much to really talk about. Why would you be when you have a superstar brother who is money? So yeah, that's so yeah, basically the main fight of the weekend. It's all about the middleweights. What's up, YouTube? Just back here. Had a bit of technical difficulties there, battery related, and I'm about to throw the phone out the window, so we're just gonna do this quick. One last thing I want to say is the main fight tonight isn't actually between fighters. It's between Matchroom DAZN more and DAZN and PBC Al Haymon. So DAZN and Al Haymon basically fighting for control of boxing. They've already done it at heavyweight, and it's set to continue with the rematch between Ruiz and Joshua. Ruiz is with PBC, which is Al Haymon. Deontay Wilder is also with Al Haymon. So basically at the moment, albeit they have a contractual rematch with DAZN's Anthony Joshua, Al Haymon has all the belts in the heavyweight division. That's the cash cow, and it's the division that's on fire. It's always historically been the main division, but it's definitely back as number one in the current state of boxing. It's the most exciting division. That obviously means that it's ultra important that Joshua wins for DAZN, because if they don't, then they haven't got anything. They don't have Tyson Fury, who's the lineal champion, and they don't have any of the belts. So their second cash cow is the middleweight division, where all the big names are, like Canelo, Golovkin, and they again are both with DAZN. Canelo has all the belts, with exception of Andrade's belt, the WBO belt, and Andrade is also with DAZN. So you could say DAZN has everything in the middleweight division, and they're safe there. They've got all the contenders, they've got all the top dogs. They've got Danny Jacobs, Golovkin, Canelo, Andrade. They've got it sewn up. The one slight chink in their armor is Charlo. He is now the WBC full champion. So Canelo's still the champion, but he's been elevated to what's known as the franchise champion, WBC champion, and Charlo has been elevated from interim to full WBC. Basically, if you want to know what it is, it's a lot of I can't say it on YouTube, it affects stuff, but yeah, it's basically a lot of and what can you do? So, you know, Canelo is the man. Charlo is Prince to the King. But if he can get the WBC to call him full champion, which they are now, Canelo can do what he wants. Still the big fights. Charlo still has to beat him, but you know, if that becomes a case where he has to fight Charlo down the line, that could be all the marbles on the table again. That's the only way really Al Haymon is going to get the middleweight division, but you can see where he's going with it, fighting on the same night, you know, just basically getting his guy to be elevated to full champion, even though Canelo is now franchise champion. So who will win the ultimate fight for boxing? Who knows? Unfortunately for us, the fans, it can sometimes mean that the fights we want to see don't happen, but we'll see what happens there. But anyway, if you like what you saw, like what you heard, send us a like, subscribe, send us comments, and as I said, down the line I might do a video on Dennis Boystoff next week. It's an interesting story. If people don't know it, maybe you already know it. Okay, thank you YouTube, and this is about the 60th time I've recorded this. Quite annoying, I gotta be honest, so I'm gonna have a new phone, because right after this video I'm gonna smash this one up. Thank you, good luck.
Hello world, goodbye world.